welcome to yet another edition of Lockdown Podcast, Video, Blog, whatever the heck this thing is. And this time I am really thrilled to have old friend of Public Words and just a remarkable human being, Josh Linkner, with me. Josh is an entrepreneur, four companies, I think, at last count. Probably there are a few more I don't know about that you started last week and have already sold at an enormous profit. Josh is a great speaker who speaks more and more beautifully than most other speakers out there. He's an author of 3 books, and I hear a rumor there's another one on the way. And as if that weren't enough, he occasionally picks up this instrument called the guitar, and apparently, rumor has it, plays a little jazz music. So welcome, Josh. Great to see you again.
Nick, thank you so much. Great to be with you.
So how are you doing? Just briefly check in with us and just tell us how it's going right now.
You know, first of all, health and safety-wise, thank God everybody is good. I've been using this pandemic and saying, all right, how can I be proud of it 12 months from now? So I've been trying to be as productive as possible. As you mentioned, I speak a lot on the road, which has largely been shut down. I've kind of used the analogy of the touring rock band who goes out on the road for 18 months playing old material and then comes back for a year and writes new material and then rinse and repeat. And since I learned from you a couple decades ago about how to get out there and speak, I've never taken a time off. So I'm using this time like a rock band would. I didn't choose it to happen, but I'm just trying to get into the studio and come up with new material so that when things open back up, I'll be prepared. That's
great. I knew that would be something like what you would say, because I don't see you wasting this time, and that's great news. So Josh, we're all slowly going back to work. I learned from you a moment ago that your office has just opened back up. That's great. It's different in all 50 states. It's different around the world right now. And so we don't quite know what the future holds yet. We don't know how fast this is going to go. I'm just curious for your take, and I promise I won't hold you to it. I won't come back a year from now and make fun of you if you get it wrong. But we all just want to know what's it going to look like a year from now? What's your best guess?
So my only disclaimer is that I'm a raging optimist, just that's who I am. But I really believe that, you know, as humanity, look, we've overcome so many obstacles, healthcare, we've figured out how to put people on a different planet, on the moon. So like, I think we're going to overcome this from a technology standpoint with a vaccine and thoughtful treatment. I think we're going to get back to a productive life where we can shake hands and be with each other. Some of the habits may change. Speaking of shaking hands, maybe we salute or something. There'll be some differences, but I think that for the most part, we're going to get on with things the same way that, you know, the Spanish flu in 1918 didn't inhibit all the great things that have happened since. And that said, I think we're going to learn from it. One thing that we're going to learn is that there are obstacles that will come our way, whether they're, you know, unforeseen like this or ones that we could better predict, that we're going to need to become more adaptive. We're going to need to be able to not only rely on old models, but make sure that we're prepared to invent new ones. I think we're going to use technology perhaps differently. Even some simple things like, you know, do you always go to the office in the same way? I mean, well, we have learned that there's some things we miss about being together. We also can be productive, many of us, working remotely. So maybe office work, instead of being, you know, 5 days a week in the office, you might have 3 days in the office and 2 days remote. So I think you'll see some nuances, but long story short, I'm optimistic that 1 year from now, the economy is going to be roaring back. We're going to be, you know, out in public and eating in restaurants and living a great life again.
I love that answer. That's the one I wanted to hear this afternoon, so I appreciate that. And from your mouth to God's ear, as the saying has it. So thank you, Josh Linkner, everybody. The self-confessed raging optimist. Let's hope you're right about that. And thanks so much for checking in.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for your leadership.